It only takes one text message, one look, one comment, or one moment that sends you in a complete spiral. If you're tired of living in such a reactive state to where your triggers are just absolutely controlling your life, this video is for you. If you don't know who I am, my name is Lindsey Tosoni. I'm a transformational and somatic life coach. I specialize in helping women overcome their trauma once and for all by work that really moves the needle in your life. And in this video, I am going to give you the exact process on how to move through triggers. When you shift your perspective on triggers, they can actually become a way to deepen your trust with yourself. They can be an opportunity for you to learn and grow and come more into the human you are meant to be. And they help get you freedom so that you're not trapped or imprisoned by reactivity every single day of your life. Especially as moms, we get so overwhelmed. How good would it feel to be able to have the tools and the nervous system to support you when life's stressors come your way? So with that being said, I'm going to teach you the exact step-by-step process that I use to help myself overcome triggers, what I also teach my clients how to do as well. And while these steps are very powerful and very important, there is a lot of other work that goes into overcoming triggers, and most of that has to do with the experiences and processing the experiences that we have had in our life, especially ones that have any sort of big trauma or little traumas associated with them. We all experience triggers, and so I just want to pre-frame right now that there is no shame in getting overwhelmed, spiraling, feeling so out of control with your emotions. We're not taught how to handle our emotions, how to handle triggers, how to handle external stressors. And this world is not set up, especially this country, modern motherhood is not set up for you to succeed, which is why it is so important for you to educate yourself and to find the tools, build your tool belt, build yourself up so that you have the power to help yourself through these triggers. So I'm going to walk you through a real life example as I'm also going through each step. There are 9 steps, but it is not this long drawn out process. Some of them are actually very, very simple to do. I just wanted to break it down in a very micro way so that you could really get the full understanding of what it means to work through a trigger. Step number 1, to pause and ground. Maybe you're walking out the door with your kids and they will not put their shoes on, they spill a cup of Cheerios, whatever the case, everything happens right when you're about to walk out the door and you just lose your... How to walk through this trigger is that you would pause in this moment and take a breath just for a moment. Yes, you are in a rush. Yes, there is a lot going on, but you want to pause. Pausing is so important. Step number 2, you're going to want to identify what the trigger is. The trigger is your kids aren't listening to you right now. That is the spark that sends everything off, and it causes you to go into a fight, flight, or freeze response in your nervous system. You feel so overwhelmed. You feel like you're spiraling, you're going out of control, and you don't know what to do. So what is the trigger? What is it that set you off into this space? Once you identify the trigger, step number 3 is to identify what it is that you're feeling. Your kids aren't listening to you. How does that make you feel on the inside? Dismissed, ignored, unworthy, overwhelmed, stressed out, all of the above? There's no right or wrong answer here. Your emotional experience is your emotional experience. And in order to get over the trigger, we must identify what it is that you are feeling. This might look like, underneath my snapping, I realize that I'm feeling disrespected, ignored, and overwhelmed. I'm not just mad about the shoes. I don't feel valued as a mother right now. And that hurts, especially by the people who I do the most for. Step number 4 is to locate these emotions in your body. Where do you feel them in your body? And by the way, you might not be able to go through this process in the middle of the trigger because you're running out the door, but you will take a mental note in the moment of how you're feeling and pause. That you do want to do in the moment. Pause and take a breather, ground your feet, even if it's for 30 seconds, and remind yourself that you're safe and remind yourself that you have the power and the tools and the skill set to work through this. And while you might not be able to process it right now in this moment, you are going to come back to it. So when you check in, where is this emotion, or where are these emotions located in your body? Is it your jaw? Is it your shoulders? Is it your stomach? Is it your back? Take note of where you're feeling this tension and pressure in your body, because that is big, very important information. Step number 5 is to validate what you're feeling and to offer yourself compassion. We are so hard on ourselves. We are our own biggest critics, and a lot of times we don't have very nice self-talk. And when we don't have kind self-talk to ourselves, it actually perpetuates the cycle of overwhelm, because we're not safe with ourselves. Would you feel safe with someone talking to you the way that you talk to yourself? Probably not. You're not able to let your shoulders down and just be who you are and have your experience. You will feel like you're uptight and like you can't have your emotional experience. So giving yourself safety and compassion are so important. And what this looks like in a moment of being triggered is saying to yourself, of course I feel overwhelmed. Of course I feel stressed out. Of course I don't feel valued right now. My kids are running all over the place like out of control feral children. Not saying that is a bad thing. And I feel unsupported. Girl, I see you. I validate what you're feeling. Any mom would feel this way when she feels unheard and unseen and unvalued and underappreciated. This helps soften your inner critic and allows for healing to take place. This is such a powerful, simple in nature, but powerful step. Step number 6 is just to allow yourself to feel what it is you're feeling and to process it. This is so important. All of these steps are important. I'm going to keep saying that. So you're already activated, you're already triggered. This is a great place for you to actually consciously choose to allow yourself to feel what it is you're feeling. I feel underappreciated. I feel like I'm being taken advantage of or not valued. I feel it in my chest. And you're literally going to sit there with yourself for even 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 90 seconds, and just allow yourself to feel what it is that you're feeling. Just allow that experience, that felt sense of what that emotion feels like in your body. This is a muscle you will build. This takes time. This is not always easy to do. It feels foreign. It feels dangerous. It doesn't feel like you're supposed to do this because we're taught to bypass our emotions and to suppress them and push them down, which is why we are caught in these perpetual cycles of overwhelm and triggers to begin with. When you learn to be with your emotions and tune into the felt sense of what is going on in your body, you take your power back from external situations. They no longer get to run your life, you run your life. When you're allowing yourself to feel this emotion, all you're doing is being still and focusing on your breath and focusing on the sensation in your body. Most of the time, the sensation is going to clear out of your body on its own. And how powerful is that? Like, you get to process that emotion instead of repressing it, pushing it down, and having it get stuck in your body to resurface later in a more unhealthy way. Step number 7 is ask what you need. Check in with yourself. What do you need to feel supported? What do you need to feel valued? This is where you call in the people around you, and you can express these boundaries in a loving way. Maybe it's hiring a babysitter for 2 hours a week. Maybe it's calling on your partner or your husband or family or friends to come in and support you so that you can feel more supported. Maybe what you need is to not feel like you're carrying the burden of motherhood on your own. What does that look like in an ideal world? What would that look like for you to not feel like you're carrying that burden on your own? Step number 8 is releasing and letting it go. So you are choosing in this moment to just let it go. Whatever that looks like for you, you can jump, move your body, dance. If you have a trampoline, I love jumping on a rebounder. For some reason, that just really clears and gets energy moving. You can do somatic practices. I often share body squeezes. It's one of the easiest things you can do. Body taps, that's another easy one. Shaking out your body, shaking out your legs, moving all around, whatever feels good to get your body moving, to get that energy out and to release it and to consciously say, I am releasing this and letting this go. Just by holding that intention, energy, emotional energy is going to start moving. And in this step, you're going to remind yourself that you have your own back. Yes, you are going to ask for support. You're going to ask for help in this moment. What can other people help you with as well? But also, you doing this exercise and going through these steps helps you to show up for yourself and build that muscle of self-trust with yourself. And that is priceless. And that by itself is going to help you feel better. Step number 9, last step, is integration. You're going to remind yourself that you are a good mom. You're doing the best you possibly can in an impossible world. Take a deep breath. Look at your kids. They are little. They are going to be rambunctious. They are going to be bouncing off the walls at times. That is part of being a mother, right? And remind yourself that you're safe. You are so safe in this moment. You're a good mom. You're a great mom. Just by watching this video, I know you're a great mom. And tell yourself, we're gonna try this again. I got this. I'm calm, I am balanced, I am more present, I am not stuck in this spiral anymore. And allow yourself to move through that energy and bring this energy into your day, and know that you have the power to overcome any trigger. And the last thing that I'm going to bring up about triggers is that triggers are mirrors, okay? A trigger is a strong emotional response that we have to an external stimulus, but triggers are always an invitation to look inward. So as in the example that I gave of being an overwhelmed mom and feeling under-supported and undervalued, most likely you have a limiting belief that is somewhere in the realm of, I am unsupported, I'm not supported, I don't get the support that I need. And that came from an earlier part of your life. That could have came from childhood. That could have came from the 4 or 5-year-old self who was told to pick up her blocks or her Legos or her Barbies when she was playing, and she just wanted someone to help her, and her mom or her dad said no. And in that moment, she developed a limiting belief that she's not supported. Or maybe she was dancing and she wanted to show her parents her dance routine and they were too busy and they said no, and she felt like no one was there for her. These are how limiting beliefs get developed, and we end up taking them through life, and this is how we view life. That is why we continue to experience the same emotions over and over again. And you have the power to change that. You have the power to change that memory, the emotional response, the trigger, and you are going to be amazed when you start working through your current triggers and bring that back to where else you have felt this in your life and process that and move through that, how much more free you're going to feel. This is exactly what I do with my clients. We go back in time a little bit before we jump forward to create the life that lights us up. We process trauma that happened in the past, unmet needs, core childhood wounds. We're going through all of that in one-on-one sessions. There is a life that is possible where you are not being controlled by your triggers. There is work you can do. There are tools you can learn. And if this is something that interests you, I invite you to book a call with me below. This is what I absolutely love, love, love to do with my one-on-one clients, is bring them through these really powerful processes to help them process and work through these triggers so that you can go through life feeling more balanced, more joy, more peace, more love, more safety in your body, connection in your body. That is possible for you. If you have any questions about triggers, post them below. I would love to answer them for you. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video. Bye.